Okay. Good morning. I hope you're having a really great day so far. And I hope that you're ready to get on the mat and dig a little bit deeper on listening to your inner self. And today we'll be thinking about what our inner truth is on the mat, our inner voice, and seeing if we can connect a little bit deeper to that voice that we sometimes ignore. So we'll go ahead and we'll start in a comfortable seated position. If for you that is on the booty with the legs crossed or the legs out in front of you, that's great. I'm going to start in hero's pose on the shins. And close the eyes and feel the sit bones ground onto whatever surface that you're sitting on, whether it's the heels or the floor. And then I want you to lift up through the heart and pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. And you'll tuck the chin slightly, feel the ears in line with the shoulders, and go ahead and seal the eyes along with the lips and start to tune out any distractions and tune into your breath. Your breath, which is our life force, the most important part of our daily practice. We sometimes take our breath for granted. And so if we take a few moments here to truly remind ourselves how important the breath is and find gratitude, see if you can take deeper inhales and longer exhales through every breath. And we'll take maybe 3 deep breaths here quietly to ourselves. Keep the eyes closed along with the lips. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. And you're still lifting up through the back of the neck, reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. But I want you to feel the thumbs pressing into the heart. And as we come into our practice this morning, finding truth within ourselves, listening to our own internal voice, think about the truth that you speak to yourself on the mat. And this can directly relate to ahimsa and the way that we speak internally to ourselves. Are we speaking kindly? Is that truth that we're speaking kindness, or is it with anger? So we can bring peacefulness, nonviolence into the truth that we speak as well to ourselves and to those others. Take one more breath here, letting yourself arrive on the mat in this day. And then I want you to come forward, bring the hands together or bring the hands down onto the mat, find table pose. Feel the wrists right underneath the shoulders and the belly pulling up towards the spine, the booty pushing to the back. As you reach the crown of the head forward, tuck the chin slightly so you have the back of the neck nice and long. On your next inhale, reach the heart forward, tailbone reaches back for cow pose. And then as you exhale, round the back, bring the navel towards the spine and the chin towards the chest for cat pose. Feel the spread of the shoulder blades. Inhale to reach the heart forward, tailbone reaches back. Feel the shoulders reach back away from the ears. And then exhale to round the back, spread the shoulders, chin comes towards the chest. Do that one more time on your own. Inhale to find length. Exhale to round. Find that neutral spine. You can wag the hips, bringing the shoulders close towards the right shoulder, towards the right hip, and the left shoulder towards the left hip. Take one more breath here, wagging the hips. And then feel the hips staying right over the knees. Walk the hands forward. Keep the hips over the knees and start to bring the heart down to the floor. You can bring the forehead or the chin to the floor if that whichever feels better for the neck. And then I want you to close the eyes here. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Soften into the pose. Feel the spread of the shoulder blades, the lengthening of the back. Take a big and deep inhale in. And a full exhale out. Again, inhale deeply. Exhale fully. One last time. Take a big, deep inhale. Feel the body softening. Exhale to release the heart closer to the earth. Very gently, you're going to rise up on the next inhale. Start to walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Be very gentle to the spine and the wrists as well as the back. And then you're going to inhale to reach the heart forward one last time for cow pose. Exhale to round the back for cat. And then find that neutral spine. Walk the hands forward ahead of the shoulders. And then I want you to walk the knees back just a little bit. Bring the hips all the way down. Keep the shoulders moving away from the ears. And you can come all the way down if that feels better for you. You can bring the forearms down and just rest onto the forearms. Wherever you choose to be, keep lifting the heart up. If you would like to come into upward facing dog, you can lift the knees off of the earth. If you want, you can also keep the knees down and just lift the heart up. All of those options are fine as long as they feel good to you, whichever one you choose. Wherever you choose to be, take one more full breath. And then we'll come all the way down. Stack the palms flat to rest the forehead. Take a big full breath in and a full breath out. One more breath. And then begin to rise up. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Push up so you're on your knees. The knees should be a little bit behind the hips. And then walk the hands forward so you're not off of the mat. We'll tuck the toes and lift the hips, come into downward facing dog. Feel the heels reach towards the floor. The hamstrings reach back behind you. The sit bones lift high up towards the ceiling. And then feel your heart pulling closer towards the top of the thighs as you press the floor down and forward. Navel pulls up and in towards the spine. Shoulder blades move down the back. Take another full cycle of breath here to settle in your downward dog. Keep all of the weight rotated in between the pointer finger and thumb. As you inhale, rock forward into plank pose. Make sure that the shoulders are over the wrists. One more time, as you exhale, lift the hips, come back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, again, rock forward into plank pose. Pause here for the exhale. Take another big breath in to press the floor away. Now, as you exhale, lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Notice where the mind is going. What are you telling yourself here? Can you take a big, deep breath? Exhale any hesitation out of the body. Reseal the lips. On the next inhale, raise the right leg up. Look forward. Plant the foot between the palms. So you can help the foot forward or you can walk the foot forward. I want you to rotate the right or the left foot down, with the left hand lead up into warrior two. Keep a bend in the front knee. Extend the arms out away from each other and then feel the shoulders move down the back. Reach the fingertips in opposite directions. And with the right hip, I want you to scoop the right glute underneath the hip. And then that's going to point the knee towards that middle toe. Sink into the front knee. Seal the outer edge of the back foot to the floor. And then let's gaze over that front middle finger. Soften the shoulders down the back. Pull the navel up towards the heart. Maybe put a smile on your face. Take a full breath here. Take one more breath to settle, maybe a little bit deeper into the pose. And I want you to flip the right palm. Keep the legs where they are. As you exhale, reverse your warrior. Left hand comes down the back thigh. Sink into the front knee. Gaze into the right palm. Notice if the right shoulder started to creep up towards the chin. Pull the shoulder down, soften the collarbone down away from the chin as well. Core is still engaged. Keep sinking into the front knee. Feel the weight even in both feet. One more full breath. On your next inhale, come back into warrior two. Fingers extend away from one another. Pause for your exhale. Take another breath in to feel the arms stretching away from one another. And then as you exhale, let's windmill the hands all the way down to the floor. Come to the ball of the left foot. Palms press into the floor. Extend the right foot back into plank pose. Pause in plank. Press the floor away. Core is engaged. Navel's pulling up to the spine. Reach the heels back. Keep lifting the hamstrings up towards the ceiling. Take another breath in to grow long. And then use the exhale to pull the hips up towards the ceiling. Downward facing dog. Pause here for your breath out. As you take another cycle of breath here, feel the sit bones lift higher to the ceiling. Press the floor forward, and almost like you're trying to press the mat backwards with the heels. Take another cycle here to settle the body. On your next inhale, left leg lifts. Look forward, plant the foot between the palms. And I'll show you the back of me so you can see what the arms are doing. I want you to rotate now the right heel down. Make sure that the toes are still pointing forward. Seal the outer edge of that foot. With the right arm, windmill up into warrior two. Look back at the back arm to make sure that the right arm is coming out of the body straight, and then gaze over that front middle finger. Scoop the left glute underneath the hip. That's going to help point the left knee over the middle toe. And as you sink into that front knee, make sure you have that 90-degree angle and the knee is not going past the ankle. As you extend the fingertips away from one another, use the power of the core to lift the heart up towards the chin. Soften the gaze. Take a couple of breaths here, full breaths, feeling the back soften, the shoulder blades move down towards the sit bones, and the collarbone opening up the front of the neck. One more cycle of breath. And then bring the right hand down to the back of the right thigh, flip the left palm. Inhale to extend the hand forward. As you exhale, reverse your warrior. Soften through the left shoulder. Keep a bend in the left knee. Your glutes and your hamstrings should be firing pretty good here. As you sink into that front knee, keep the core lifting, the navel lifting up towards the heart. Gaze into the left palm. Keep opening up through the left side of the body. Take another breath here. On your next inhale, come back into warrior two. Extend the fingertips away from one another. Take another full breath here to settle back into warrior two. On your next inhale, windmill the hands down to the floor. Come to the ball of the right foot. Press the palms into the floor. Step the left foot back to meet the right, coming into plank pose. And as you press the palms away, make sure the booty's not lifting too high. Make sure you're not sagging the hips. Find that straight line of energy. Ears are in line with the shoulders. Navel's pulling up towards the spine. Reach the crown forward. Soften the shoulders down the back. Reach through the heels. Take another full breath here. Take one more breath in to grow long. And then as you exhale, hug the elbows close to the body. Come all the way down as slowly as possible. Let the hips be the last to touch if possible. Untuck the toes. Keep the hands right in line with the chest. And then I want you to hug the elbows in. Keep the chin tucked, but grow long with the neck. Take another breath in. On your exhale, I want you to press into the palms. And then the next inhale, lift through the back of the head. Roll the shoulders down the back. Keep pointing through the toes, but see if you can soften through the glutes. Take another breath in, lift a little bit higher. And then exhale to release all the way down. Stack the palms in the opposite direction to rest the forehead. Soften the shoulders down the back. Take one full cycle of breath here. And I want you to press into the palms right next to the chest. Press into them, come up onto the knees, and we'll find a seated position. Once you find that seated position, rock from side to side, lift the heart up and pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. Close the eyes, and then I want you to come back to your breath and come back to your internal voice. So even when we're practicing, there's always some sort of mind chatter going on. Even though we try and silence it with our breath, our mind is still thinking. So as you find a little bit of stillness, can you tune into your internal voice? And listen to what your truth is in this moment. Keep the eyes closed. Hands come together in front of the heart. I want you to keep the eyes closed as you inhale the arms out and up. Feel the palms touch overhead. When you exhale, twist to the left knee and bring the right hand to the top of the left thigh. Bring the left hand behind the body to lift the heart for our twist. As you inhale, you'll find length to grow tall through the spine. Use the exhale to bring the navel to the spine and begin to twist, turning your gaze to turn over that left shoulder. And take a full breath here to settle. And on your next inhale with the eyes closed, come back to center, arms come right alongside the ears. Use the exhale to twist now to the right knee. Left hand comes on top of the right thigh. Right hand behind you to lift the heart. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale to twist. Take a full breath. And then we'll use our next inhale. Come back to center with the arms. Palms touch. Exhale to bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes. Take a full cycle of breath. And then I want you to bring the hands behind the hips. Extend the feet out to where the soles of the feet are onto the floor. Hands are going to come behind the hips with the fingertips facing towards the sit bones. In a moment, we'll press into the palms and we'll press into the feet, come into a reverse table. If that's too much for the palms, you can always stack the fists. So try, but if it's a little bit tight on the wrist, then just know that that's your option. And then when you're ready, first take a big, deep inhale and a full exhale. On your next inhale, press into the feet, press into the palms. See if you can parallel the knees over the ankles and the shoulders right over the hips. Don't let the head hang. Keep the ears in line with the shoulders. Keep pressing into the feet. Lift the hips up a little bit higher. Lift through the heart. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, bring the sit bones all the way down to the floor. Extend the legs out in front of you. Inhale to grow tall. And then exhale, let's hinge forward. Tuck the chin. Reach the crown of the head towards the toes. And you can grab onto the knees, the calves, the ankles, or the sides of the feet. Keep reaching the heels forward. And then take a breath here to soften the shoulders down the back. Tuck the chin, inhale to come back up to center. Place the hands behind the sit bones once again. Bend the knees, come to the soles of the feet. Use the next inhale to press into the palms, press into the feet. Lift the hips, come back into reverse table. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more breath in. And then use the exhale to come down. Extend the legs out in front of you. Reach the heart forward, come into a forward fold. And as you tuck the chin, feel the shoulder blades moving down the back. Reach through the heels. Feel that stretch along the back side of the body. One more breath. This time we'll rise all the way up, scoop forward so then that way you are on your mat completely if you're on a mat. Hands come behind you and you're just going to walk the spine all the way down. Pause for a breath once the back is on the floor. Bring the knees into the chest. You can wrap the arms around the shins. You can wrap the right leg over the left if you'd like, whichever feels better for you. Bring the arms out to a T if that is in your practice. And then as you exhale, we're all going to let the knees first fall to the left. So if you are crossing the right leg is over the left. If the knees are together, keep pulling the knees together. Everyone is pulling the navel to the spine. And then if you would like, you can turn the gaze opposite the knees for the last breath here. Use your next inhale to bring everything back into center, the gaze and the knees. The exhale will let the knees fall down to the opposite side. Do anything you would like with the gaze on this side as well. Once you find that sweet spot, feel the left shoulder staying connected to the floor. Take a full deep breath in. Exhale fully. Take one more cycle here, letting the body settle completely. You can use the right hand on top of the thigh to encourage the knees down, but stay in stillness wherever you are. And then use the next inhale to come back into center. Pause here. Wrap the arms around the shins. Bring the forehead towards the knees. Feel the shoulder blades move away from the back to lengthen the neck. Take one more breath in. And then I want you to rock all the way up to seated. Once you come into seated, rock the sit bones from side to side. Pull the navel up towards the spine, lift it through the heart. Shoulder blades pull together behind the back. Then I want you to bring the pointer finger and thumb together, extend the last 3 fingers out. Top of the hands rest on the top of the knees. Close the eyes here and take 3 breaths in silence, listening to what your heart and your mind are telling you. keep your eyes closed. Bring the hands together in front of the heart and feel the thumbs connecting to your heart. Lift the crown of the head high towards the ceiling. Then take this final breath, breathing into your truth. And keep the eyes closed. Bring the hands to the forehead, the thumbs to the forehead. Take one more breath. Namaste. So, speaking truth to ourselves can sometimes be challenging. We can be our hardest critic. I am definitely guilty of that myself. But if we take the time to come into silence, to find our practice, whatever that is for you, whether that's praying, whether that's meditating, but finding silence and time for yourself is really what helps us to tune into our inner voice and to really hear the truth instead of all of the outside noise that clogs up that truth. So I hope that you take a little bit more time for yourself, you find your practice, and you do take time in silence. And I thank you for your time today and your support. I hope you have a really great rest of your day. Have a great day. Bye.